Welcome to this week's The Good, the Bad and the Odd with your hosts Mark and Sam. This week we'll be telling you what we've been reading, watching, listening to, playing. We'll be covering our top 5 video games we think will make good films, and we'll be reviewing Wayne's World. So first, the comfy chair. Hi Sam.
Hey.
Okay, been watching anything good? Films or TV shows or anything?
Well, I haven't watched any films apart from the one we're going to review.
Okay.
I played this game we got recently called LA Noire, which is
really
good.
We only got it a few days ago, didn't we?
And I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty Black Ops recently. It's really fun to play multiplayer.
So you're playing as a soldier, but you're playing it in multiplayer against people online?
Yeah.
Friends of yours? Or?
Yeah, friends. Yeah. Most people I don't know.
So is it a mission together, or do you fight against each other?
No, it's just fighting against each other over different things.
So it's a free-for-all?
Yeah, sometimes.
So is it good to be stealthy, or do you just go with blasting?
You can be stealthy, you can just run about shooting.
Oh, could you hide and just snipe people?
You can try.
Doesn't last long, I know.
No, people don't like it when you do that.
No, I guess not.
They think it's too much of a challenge. Trying to take someone down.
So how about LA Noire? That's in LA?
Yes. Well, no.
No?
Sarcasm. But, but it's like a detective thing. It starts off with some brief sort of stuff, giving you a tutorial on how you actually play the missions, like interrogation, clue finding, chases, gunfights.
Okay, what's the tone? Is interrogation being nasty to people or slapping around?
Interrogation's just talking and trying to convince them to tell the truth.
Oh, okay, it's a bit more subtle than other.
And with the truth thing, sometimes it's really hard to tell whether someone's telling the truth.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can just read them like a book.
From the facial gestures?
Yeah.
Or...
the facial recognition is really good.
Nice. That's on the Xbox, of course, like all that stuff. Okay, I've finished a game I've been playing for weeks now that I think I've mentioned before, which is Dante's Inferno. I finally finished it. I liked it a lot. It's very good gameplay, very good graphics. Definitely an 18 certificate from some of the imagery, because you're basically going through hell trying to rescue your true love. The only grouch I'd have is right towards the end you have to basically go through 10 separate challenges, all of which are quite similar, and it gets kind of repetitive. The game would have been actually better if it had just been one level, rather than make you do 10 at the same, something very similar 10 times over before you can get to the end, which got a bit boring. But in the end you do get to fight Lucifer, so that's quite cool. I quite enjoyed that game. I think I racked up about 10 hours, but I've heard other people say it usually takes between 10 and 12. That's if you count restarts, I guess. Mine was 10 hours of time from not dying. Obviously I did die and have to keep restarting here and there, so it probably took a little longer than that. But it was a very good game. I enjoyed it. It was much in the same vein as Castlevania, and I think quite like games like God of War, so it was good fun.
I call those action chain games because there's always a weapon that has some sort of chain. Yeah,
you have a huge sickle, don't you?
Scythe.
You've played a bit of it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've played quite a bit of it.
Okay. And you have a big shiny cross that fires cross-shaped light bolts, which is quite cool. That was good. I have actually... have you got any other games you want to talk about?
No, not really.
I've been watching quite a bit, actually. I've been reading quite a few comics. I've been watching some films too, so I'll hammer through these and pick up other ones. I've read a book about Doctor Who. I'm turning into a bit of a Doctor Who nerd, I think. A book by a guy called Kim Newman, who's a writer about horror films. And he's an author, he's writing fiction, but he wrote this book, I think in 2005, which covers like the classic Doctor Who history, and there's a bit of Christopher Eccleston and even David Tennant in it, but mostly it's about the classic Doctor Who, which I found quite interesting. I've started watching through the original Doctor Who's, starting at sort of number 1, episode 1, season 1, which involves cavemen, but I'll talk about those as I finish them. But I've kind of got into Doctor Who for the old school Doctor Who. Whether I keep up with it, we'll see. In films, I've watched lots apart from Wayne's World. I've watched one called Idiocracy, which is a sort of satire on if things keep going as the way they are in about 500 years, everyone's going to be an idiot because stupid people are outbreeding smart people, and the whole culture is dumbing down, which is it was funny, but it was like, that seems to be happening. So I couldn't laugh too much. Watched a few horrors. I watched one called Alice, Sweet Alice, which is a weird one, about this little girl that gets killed on the day of her communion, and everyone thinks it's her sister, but you never quite know. It's from the 70s. It's quite good. Some of the music remind me of Halloween kind of music, and the way it was used, I quite enjoyed it.
That's an awesome theme, the Halloween.
Yeah, well, this was made 2 years before, and it's similar. And in fact, a lot of these films, I've started posting reviews on our website, written reviews rather than the podcast, so you can actually read the reviews of each of these films. So I'll just go through them quick. So another horror film called Red State, well, sort of horror thriller called Red State, which is directed by Kevin Smith, who made Clerks and other comedies. So this is a change for him because it was more like a kind of thriller horror kind of film, and it was a strange old film because it kept changing tack. It started off as like a comedy, then it almost turned like a horrible torture horror film, and then it became a siege film, and then it became a kind of religious film, and it kept changing. But there were some really good performances in it. There was like a nutty preacher who was so radical, even the Nazi party in America tried to distance themselves from him. So it was pretty bad. Yeah, that was good.
That must sting. Even the Nazis are trying to get away from you.
How bad must you be if the Nazis think you're a bit radical? And another thriller from the 70s, which I never saw, I heard good things about, called Fear is the Key. No, I bet most people haven't heard of this. It stars a guy called Barry Newman, who used to be on a TV cop, whose name I can't remember. I think it was Petrocelli, or he might have been a lawyer. It was like this tough guy, and it was a thriller through and through that kept twisting and turning. But basically it was kind of a revenge thriller in the end. And it was really good. I've written more about this on our website, as I say, so you can read about it more there. Been watching some TV. We've watched a few. In fact, you've watched with me a few episodes of Sam and Max, the cartoon show. It was a good laugh. Show. I enjoyed that. It's a very good show, isn't it? It's quite funny. The mad rabbit and the slightly less mad dog as freelance policemen. I watched an awesome episode of South Park at the moment now from season 14.
Which one was it?
It's about Facebook.
Oh yeah, that one.
That was so funny. Where I think it's Stan doesn't want to be involved, but everyone else is on Facebook, so they make him a page, and he says, "I'm not doing it anyway." And then he says, "Aren't I your friend, Stan? Aren't I your friend?" And so he has to friend his dad. Then his girlfriend gets annoyed because she has his status is single, so she thinks he's cheating, and it goes on and on like this, and like he gets thousands of friends even though he doesn't even want to be on it, and in the end he tries to delete his profile and he gets sucked into the machine, so it becomes like Tron. It's very fun. And there's this big giant version of him called the profile, and he says, "Who is more powerful, the user or the profile?" And he says, "How are we going to fight this out then?" And he says, "Yahtzee." So we go Yahtzee. And then another TV show I've just finished called Psychoville, which is from the guys that do League of Gentlemen. Have you heard of either of those, League of Gentlemen or Psychoville?
I heard of Psychoville.
Psychoville, it's kind of a comedy horror film. I finished season 2. Basically lots of really weird characters who say very inappropriate things all the time. But my favourite's a guy called Mr. Jelly, who's a clown, a really bitter, twisted, angry clown who's got one hand and he's got like a claw and he uses it in his act. It frightens children. It's quite funny. Yeah, that was a good show. And like I say, I've posted a review about that. Okay, I've read some comics and graphic novels and stuff like that. How about you, Sam? You read any?
I read this Punisher story called Punisher versus the Marvel Universe.
Oh, I read that. I think I read it after you because you were talking about it.
Yeah, it's really grim. Yeah. Well, it starts off with Spider-Man becoming infected with some sort of zombie-like illness.
It's like a cannibalistic thing.
It becomes cannibalistic, but he retains all his mind. He becomes bigger, a fair bit bigger.
I didn't notice that when I read it. I didn't notice Spider-Man had got bigger.
He was huge, muscly.
Really?
But, yeah.
Okay, go on. I really didn't notice.
Punisher seems to be the only one resistant. Well, at first.
You find out why, don't you, as the story goes on? Because he inadvertently blew a load of guys away that had this super antidote. So he got completely drenched in some sort of antidote that protects him. But didn't it? I couldn't quite work out. Did he actually also release the plague inadvertently? No. I couldn't quite figure that out because he kept blaming himself for the end of the world. But it wasn't clear to me.
No, he blamed himself because he couldn't stop the zombies.
Ah, okay. My mistake. It was quite a good story, wasn't it? It did finish bleakly, though.
Yeah,
it was a
very depressingly.
Yeah, Punisher never takes prisoners, does he?
No, he doesn't make deals with
people he doesn't like. No. They're not on the side of right. Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed that. That was quite a good series.
I also read Punisher, Welcome Back, Frank, again.
Read it again?
A really good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. That's the one where he takes down a huge crew, isn't it?
Yeah, he takes down a crime family.
Is that's the one where he goes for a polar bear cage?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
He says fluffy, docile, cute. Not the way I want them. Punches it in the face and then legs it.
And so the guys chasing him have to confront an angry polar bear. That's it?
Yeah.
Nice.
There's this great bit just before that where he goes, I have a 45, he has a submachine gun. My night goes downhill from here.
Punisher's always like that, though. I also like, going back to the Marvel Universe, I like the fact he had to keep killing Deadpool.
Yeah, that was
because
quite
Deadpool
good.
can regenerate, can't he? He says, this is the 32nd time I've killed him, or something like that.
He says, cutting him off and burying him, that should hold for a bit.
I've also been reading, DC have just rebooted their universe. They've got 52 titles. They've basically done a reboot. Sometimes
I'm not sure that's recent.
Well, it's in the last month or two. But they've done 52, and some of them are proper origin stories, and some are just like they're obviously explaining some of the backstory at a certain point, so new readers can jump on board. And I've read quite a lot of them, not all of them, and there's some really good ones. The ones that I can really recommend are, there's a Wonder Woman one that's really good, and there's a Batman story that's excellent. Wonder Woman's my favourite though. She's just really tough in this one, and it's quite good to see. There's a Supergirl one, which is also quite good, which is an origin story. And there's also,
I never understood what Supergirl actually is. Is she his cousin?
Cousin, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's his cousin.
I've seen somewhere she's just another Kryptonian. I've seen somewhere she's
sometimes she's
sister.
his cousin, sometimes she's not related. Not sister, I'm not saying sister. The thing is, it didn't say in this, she just landed on Earth and she was like trying to fight people, and it ended with Superman turning up, and that was the last pane. So you don't know how that gets resolved. Yeah. There's also a really good one called Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. Now, Shade is some organisation, and basically, imagine someone crossing all the monsters from the Van Helsing movie with like the Dirty Dozen, like a squad of sort of troubleshooters. So on Frankenstein's son, there's like a vampire, a wolf man, a fish, creature from that green type thing, and so on. It's pretty awesome, actually. It's really good.
Doesn't sound it.
Oh, you have to read it. You'll have to read it. I'll try and read it if you can. And there was also another one which wasn't good, but the premise is excellent, which was called Suicide Squad, which is like bad guys recruited to do the same sort of thing as Frankenstein's lot, but it's headed by Harley Quinn as the leader. So that might be quite good. It wasn't a great number one, but it might be. I'm going to read the second one just to see how it goes. Yeah, so that sort of winds up my week. Anything else? TV or
no?
Okay then. All right, we'll move on to our number 5. Is it alive?
Number 5 is alive.
Now this is we considered video games, past and present, that we think would actually make quite good movies, and it's that simple. So do you want would you like to start?
No, you can go first.
Okay, I'll go first. My number 5 is a game called Prototype. Now, the game involves a man being infected with some sort of weird virus that turns him almost into like a super warrior, but who can mutate. So, like, his body can turn itself into like weird shapes, and like a giant kind of grappling hook can fire out of him.
Yeah.
In addition, he can absorb people, which A gives him energy and B gives him the ability to look like those people. And he's basically running around the city while the army are trying to find him. And there's also these weird mutants trying to chase him down too, that have similar powers to him. Tend to be stronger, but a bit more stupid than him, so he fights them more intelligently. But he can also do things like take out helicopters by firing a hook at it and climbing into it and things like that. I think there's a possibility there of being quite a good film story, actually.
If anything, just like a 90s action sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about anything intelligent. I'm talking about like a dumb action film that's a lot of fun on a sort of Saturday night, really. Okay, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Fallout. Any of the games, really, because they all had quite good stories.
Fallout, that's wandering around a post-apocalypse kind of
post-apocalypse, sort of 50s style city.
So it's kind of almost a cross between the Wild West and Mad Max, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I can see that. I could see that. It'd be quite. There's a lot of possibilities there. It could be like, it almost takes on the Western genre, doesn't it? It can be helping people. It could be looking for gold, or
the one I put down in of itself is Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout New Vegas.
That was my favourite.
Yes, I like Fallout New Vegas too. Yeah,
and it was just insane. If you got this one perk, everything would go nuts. You could find Star Wars and Indiana Jones references.
Oh, right.
Monty Python holy hand grenades.
Nice. Oh, so would the film have that? Would you see a film with all that sort of stuff?
I could see a film sort of putting that somehow in, with it being Fallout, how insane it is.
Right. Okay, great. My number 4 is a game I've already talked about, Dante's Inferno, where
they made an anime of it, I think.
Oh, are they? Well,
they made it, man.
Ah, okay. Well, I'll have to see if I can find it.
Sort of like Dante on his way into hell, not there, but on his, as he traverses between death and getting into hell.
Cool. Well, I'd like the film to be set in hell, because the graphics in the game is
hell.
Awesome.
I know that bit is sort of in hell, but before he gets to Limbo, it's still rocky and everything, and he fights demons.
Oh, maybe what I've said is already happened then. It's just really awesome. It's just a great story. You know, he's hunting someone down. He's on the run. He's trying to be stopped. You'd have to add a bit more to that to make it a bit more filmic. You know what I mean? More like, because in the game you get a lot of backstory which develops his character and makes you learn about him. Maybe they could do that in a film, or might be trying to be better to try and use some other plot device to bring his character out, so it's more filmic. But I think that would be pretty excellent, especially if they brought the same skills they brought to the game in terms of the graphics. Yeah. It would look really good. Okay, you'll go.
My number 4 is Red Dead Redemption, because that was an awesome game.
I forgot that.
It was an awesome game, and it wasn't cowboy game. But it sucked you in with the story. I haven't played it in a bit, and I've forgotten where I'm at, but I can remember I was really into the story before I stopped.
Yeah, it's not a game that gets boring.
Nah.
I do remember that, and I can kind of see it, because he's on a quest, isn't he?
Yeah.
In fact, it could make a trilogy of films, really. Yeah. You know, it's on a quest.
The game's in 3 parts, really.
Yeah, it is. Was it 4? I can't remember.
3, I believe.
3. Yeah, but basically you have to help people to find out information, or get a bit further, or understand better what's going on. That's a good choice. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, I'll move on to my number 3. My number 3 is a bit like Dante's Inferno in terms of the gameplay and the story. It's Castlevania.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that really well.
That is, you're not in hell. You're running around the real world, but there's all sorts of
It's hellish.
semi-mythical. Well, there's semi-mythical creatures like werewolves and things that you're fighting, and vampire. Is vampires in it? I can't remember.
There's vampires.
And you're on a quest. You're trying to get to an end point, and I can see that. Much like, for the same reasons as Dante's Inferno, I can see that being a lot of fun. In fact, all these games tend to be quest-based, don't they? So they suit that kind of framework for a film. So this guy, instead of the usual sword or whatever, he's got this like cross that can fire out on a chain or the end of it and be a really devastating weapon. So that would be quite cool to bring that. Again, nothing super intelligent. A dumb action film is that what I'm talking about here. Okay, that's me for Castlevania.
Okay, my number 3, I'm sort of going to go into the big story-based games here, is BioShock. It's really heavy with the story. There's lots of sort of twists and...
Do you see it as like an action or horror or both?
It seems more like horror, because the game's quite creepy. Right,
so creepy tension.
It's very dark. As you walk, you can hear footsteps. You can hear footsteps on the floor above you at some points.
Yeah,
and sometimes you can even hear splicers singing, which is really creepy.
Right. That sounds good. So it's got quite a detailed story, anyway.
Yeah, it's very detailed.
Is it a quest kind of thing?
It's not really. It doesn't start off as a quest.
Right.
But eventually, during the last bit, it does become a quest.
And you'd see the film being similar in that way.
Yes.
I guess all these are going to be like that. Okay, that sounds like a good one. Again, not one I'd considered, actually. I don't know the game that well. Huh?
You haven't played it?
Yeah, I'm kind of got an idea. I thought it was a bit creepy, so it didn't really suit me. Yeah, I like shooting and things.
There is a lot of shooting.
Oh, well, maybe I should give it a try. Anyway, my number 2, it's similar to one of your choices. I've actually jammed 2 games together here because they're kind of similar, I think. Is Borderlands / Fallout 3. Basically post-apocalypse. You got to hunt and gather, fight things to get better weapons. You're trying to pursue someone across this landscape. I can see that just working as a simple action film.
Yeah.
I see it a bit like Mad Max, a bit like Space Hunter, maybe. You know, you're in a devastated
seen Space
world.
Hunter.
Okay, well, it's a sort of there's weird things in the desert-y sort of background, and they can jump out at you. You can also find friends and team up with them, that kind of thing. And it could be a proper quest story, like a really weird version of Wizard of Oz almost. You're getting there, you're making friends who can help each other, but you're all on the same quest, and you slowly grow as a band. Something like that might be quite cool. Over to you.
My number 2 is Mass Effect.
Right.
They
are making a film, aren't they? This.
I'm not sure about this. Some people I've checked the internet. Some people say it is. Some people say it isn't.
Yeah.
Some people say it's fake.
Right. What, the fact they're making a film?
Yeah.
I've read about
real.
it a few places, though, in film magazines.
They were going to make it, then they weren't, and no, I'm not sure.
I wonder if it was live action.
Yeah, it probably will be.
Right. Well, it's got quite a good detailed story. In fact, you could probably just lift the story, simplify it a little, and use that in the film, couldn't you?
It's my favourite game for story.
Right, okay. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll go to my number 1 now. My number 1 is, I had to think about this hard because there's 2 of the same type, and one was the sequel to the other, but I've gone with a sequel, and it's Dead Rising 2. I was going to pick Dead Rising, but I realised...
I think they made that. It's called Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, Dead Rising is essentially Dawn of the Dead, which is why I took it off my choice, and I've picked Dead Rising 2. Now, Dead Rising 2 is, instead of being a shopping mall, it's somewhere like Vegas, a big gambling city.
Fortune City.
Yeah, it's Fortune City, yeah, but it's a big gambling den, with fruit machines that you can climb over to avoid the zombies, and all sorts going on. Stunt bikes, secret passages through the back of the casinos. and stuff like that. I think that could be a really good story. Trying to get out of somewhere like Vegas. Again, finding people and helping them survive. I can see that being quite a good idea. I do like a good zombie film, but unfortunately most zombie films aren't very good. Right, okay. Your number one.
My number one is Halo. The Halo series.
Oh, yeah, you love Halo.
Halo 3 in specifically.
Is it because of the characters? Cause you like
the characters are really good. Master Chief is quite badass.
So they're like commandos, are they?
It's like a specialised soldier. It's like sending in the Marines or the SAS is probably a better comparison.
Who's their usual enemy? Is it a similar kind of soldier group?
It's a collection of alien races called the Covenant. And there's
what kind of aliens are they?
There's like shorts, ones called grunts that form the foot soldiers. There's elites who like work as the higher ups.
So are they really humanoid? They're not like aliens, say they're more like
they're
people.
All humanoid.
Yeah.
There's an insect race, a squid-like race.
Ah. So it could be a bit like aliens or something.
Yeah.
Right, I see. Halo. I wonder if they planned that. I mean, it sounds like
they made a short Halo film. Weta Studios and Neil Blomkamp.
So it was. Oh, really? The guy that made District 9.
Yeah. They were going to make a full one. But
have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's really good.
I wonder why they didn't make a full one.
It's because he went on to do District 9.
District 9 is pretty good.
Yeah.
I can actually see the graphics they used. They got quite excellent CGI in District 9.
That's what I was thinking of. The elites. Imagine the prawns, but with a more lizard-like face.
Right.
And less armor plating on the body.
They do move. In that film, they kind of move like and look like Halo, don't they? Actually, thinking about it.
Just a minute.
Yeah. Okay, right. So they're our number ones. Have you got any honourable mentions?
I've got. Where is it? I've got Half-Life.
Yeah,
that was
great. What was his name?
Gordon Freeman.
Yeah, Gordon Freeman, the super nerd.
Yeah.
That could work well. I've got Duke Nukem, and I've got quite a specific idea about him. I'd see it as CGI, or cartoon, and not real life. And I'd like to see him like, how he acts around women and stuff. I'd like to see him treated more like Johnny Bravo. They just think he's an idiot and sort of slap him or hit him and just don't take him seriously. But he never actually realises he's an idiot. Something like that might be quite cool. But he still, can take out huge teams of aliens with enormous guns, because that's what Duke Nukem does. I think that might be quite, as a comedy, I'm talking about an action comedy kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think that might be quite cool. Any others from you?
I thought of LA Noire for a bit, but that's too much like a film for me already.
Okay. I was thinking I'd like to see a version of these Nazi zombies from Call of Duty.
that is in its own on its own a story. Really,
yeah,
because it's just them trying to kill all the zombies.
Yeah, well, it'd be a bit like Dog Soldiers, with a team of soldiers trying to escape werewolves, but with this, it would be Nazi zombies. But having said that, there is a Nazi zombie... Well, there's a few Nazi zombie films, but the most recent one is a Norwegian... I think it's Norwegian. One called Dead Snow, which I haven't actually seen, so it might actually be what I'm thinking of anyway.
That sounds like a Call of Duty Zombies map. Dead Snow.
Well, that's what it's called. This is students, though. I think a team of soldiers trying to escape a lot of Nazi zombies might be quite a lot of fun.
Dad, this is an elite.
Oh, right. Big gold thing.
Well, it's not. That's just its armour.
Yeah. It does look a bit like the prawn from...
There's like different colours armour.
Ah, okay. Right.
Well, loads of different types of armour.
Okay, any other honourable mentions?
None that I can think of right now.
Okay, then let's move on to our movie. There Can Be Only One.
There can be only one.
So this week we're covering Wayne's World, which was made in 1992. It's a PG-13. Main stars. It's got lots of like cameo kind of roles in, but the main stars are Mike Myers and Dana Carvey. Is it? Oh no, sorry, Dana. I think it's pronounced Carvey. Directed by a lady called Penelope Spheris, who didn't really go on to direct much anything else you'd have heard of, which is a shame because it's got a bit of flair, this film.
Yeah.
And basically it comes from a Saturday Night Live sort of skit, a regular skit with Wayne and Garth, much like the Blues Brothers, and this was a reasonably successful
It's weird
film.
because the only films based on Saturday Night Live sketches seem to be music as a big
Well, I
part of
understand
them.
there's a few, but I haven't seen a lot of them.
There's
but
a few. They're not supposed to be that great.
No, I mean this was reasonably successful. It got a sequel, and Blues Brothers was, I think, a flop at the time, but it's obviously made its money back and a lot more.
And there was a sequel to that, but
Okay.
you don't like it.
Well, this film's a very lightweight plot. Basically, they've got this little public access show, and a guy basically gets them to sign contracts to turn it over to be a network show, and in doing so converts the show into something completely different, which annoys Wayne no end, and Garth's not that happy either. Alright, the plot isn't the big thing about this film at all, it's the laughs. So why did we choose this? You chose this, Sam. Why did you choose this?
I was watching some stuff on the internet, and it sort of kept coming up.
That film?
Yeah, I was watching this guy sort of talk about musicals.
Yeah.
And to choose what he talks about next, he throws a dartboard that's just covered in names of musicals.
Yeah.
And his next choice is Nightmare Before Christmas, but I could see Wayne's World.
Wayne's World is not really a music. Well, I suppose there's a few songs.
It's music based.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a music.
His idea of a musical is if there's 5 songs or less or more.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that seems a reasonable rule. Right. Well, did you like it or not?
Yes.
What did you like about it?
I liked. My favorite. What I liked was Garth. The character. Was Garth. He was sort of stupid yet funny.
Yeah, he was. He only really had one note to his character, but it was funny consistently all the way through. I liked it too. I thought it was goofy, and it appeared to be lightweight, but it was a bit more intelligent than you thought it was going to be in some of the jokes. Also, I grew up around that time. I was like 27 when this came out, so I remember the period well. And it was like the last bit of the 80s finally sort of disappearing before the bland old 90s came in. It had some great touches in it too that I really liked. Like there was a bit where they took the mickey out. They had a bit which was like almost like a bit from T2, Terminator 2.
Oh yeah,
that
was great.
There was some really good, intelligent jokes in all of this. There was a bit where he starts talking to a woman in I think Chinese, Cantonese. And the subtitles are coming up, and basically they stop talking a little bored, but the subtitles carry on the conversation, which made me laugh. There was an extended joke about product placement that is
that
just
was
as funny.
Good.
Yeah, just as funny then as it is today. It's just as it was.
Let me just read the sort of set screen thing for that. I wouldn't. Where is it?
What?
It's on here somewhere. Just a minute.
What are you doing?
The sort of joke.
Well, people listening won't.
No, it's got a written description. You signed a contract guaranteeing him certain concessions. One of them is a spot on the show, holding a Pizza Hut box. Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contract, no, I will not bow to any sponsor.
Yeah, and then he has like a Pepsi.
It's Doritos, then he turns to Garth, who's wearing like Reebok.
Yeah.
And then he's like, saying, I've got a headache, and he's got pills. And then there's Pepsi. And
there's a few other good sort of things in this as well. I like the bit with Alice Cooper, who was like being intellectual about stuff instead of just rocking out and smashing the place. That was kind of fun. But then, seeing Alice Cooper since, he's kind of like that actually.
Yeah.
Was there anything you didn't like?
I didn't really like how rushed the romance was.
Rushed?
Yeah, it just sort of they're there and then suddenly whoa.
Yeah, well, that was a bit underwritten probably. I didn't actually like the actress. I didn't think she was a very good actress.
Tia Carrere.
Yeah, I didn't like her much. I didn't think first she couldn't act very well, and I don't think it really worked. The chemistry between them didn't quite work. She was like, you could tell she hadn't done that much acting, frankly. But it was okay. It didn't spoil the laughs. It just that bit didn't really work for me. Whereas Mike Myers was definitely convincing. You got it that Wayne was upset and stuff.
Yeah.
The slang would kind of. Actually, if I'd have seen this in '92, the slang would have annoyed me.
Yeah.
But seeing it now a lot of it's never in use anymore. It's kind of made it funnier than at the time. I would have not liked it so much, but it's quite kind of funny. Do you think it achieved what it set out to be?
Yeah, well, whatever it was, I'm pretty sure it achieved it.
Yeah, it was.
It covered all bases, really.
I laughed quite a lot of times, I have to say. One thing I did notice about watching it was there were quite a few people from Married with Children in it. Which was comedy around that time. There was obviously Ed O'Neill was in it, who plays Al Bundy. Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn, the insane.
He was nuts. That was some of my favourite bits. His weird, mad lines, like if you stab
a guy in the cold, his blood steams. Yeah, and the American Indians thought that was the soul escaping, and the guy he's talking to just sort of goes, "Huh," and carries on eating.
And there was a few other people from Married with Children. I definitely saw Tia Carrera was actually in Married with Children sometimes as Kelly's nemesis in modelling school, and there was a few other people. There was a famous Married with Children where Al gets stuck at a garage, serving because he can't pay the $2 fuel, and the guy hands him over a shirt. He's got this long blonde hair. He was in this film too, and there's a couple of others. It just seemed odd, but yeah, I guess that was that era, so it would be there. What do you reckon the best scenes were?
The best scenes was the introduction of Glenn, the insane guy.
Yeah,
and where they're in the music shop.
Yeah, with the guitar and the drums.
Yeah, he starts to play guitar, and the guy grabs it and goes, "No stairway."
No stairway. Yeah, I've actually got something. Well, I've got Just Garth's drums. Made me laugh.
Yeah, that was great.
Wow, you're great. He goes, I like to play.
And there's the bit where they're parked their car up on a mountain. And he's just lying there, and there's shooting stars going over, and Garth whistling the Star Trek theme.
Yes, I know. I have to confess, I dug that sound out of that, and I've got it as my ringtone on my phone now. I thought it was great, but
it was good, but
it's not that good. It sounds great. I also like the Bohemian Rhapsody bit, but everyone, I guess, knows that bit. Don't know. That's what the film's really famous for. And I also like the fact, though it was meant to be a dumb comedy, they had quite intelligent stuff in it here and there. Like I've already mentioned, the subtitles jokes, the product placement jokes, things like that. Was there anything really bad about it? The worst scenes or anything bad?
The worst scenes I'd say were in the club where he goes to. There's Meatloaf as a security guard.
Yeah, that was a bit flat.
That was quite. I thought the Meatloaf as a security guard, that sort of made me chuckle, but once they got inside, nothing really happened.
Apart from Garth tasered a guy, didn't he? Or something like that.
Yeah, he got some sort of super
didn't really
taser.
Go anywhere, did it?
No. He got a super taser and propelled him across the room, but that was really it.
Yeah.
And then there was the insane ex-girlfriend, who sort of...
Oh, the insane ex-girlfriend, again...
She was funny, but bad sort of scenes.
Yeah. She did... Again, it didn't really go anywhere, did it? I think that was a play.
Oh, there's a reference to Mike Myers' actual love life in that, when the insane ex gets him a gun rack. One of Mike Myers' exes actually did that to try and win him back. Wow, really?
I think they were drawing from the TV show. I think that I don't know because I've not seen it, but I reckon on Saturday Night Live he used to talk about his mad ex, so they had to have a mad ex in the film. or I'm guessing. I don't know. Yeah, there was a few scenes that didn't really go anywhere like that, and it was a bit. The plot was really flimsy.
Yeah.
And like I already said, I didn't really like Tia Carrera's Cassandra. I didn't think she really worked, but it didn't really spoil the film for me. It was. Was there any other bits of the film you liked? It was pretty.
There's the bit where they're in the tent. There's this bit where they're in this big sort of tent, and it's quite funny because Tia Carrera's character Cassandra is trying to have a serious conversation, and Wayne's just sort of dancing around the room, picking up her clothes and sort of half dressing himself in them and carrying on dancing, just trying to make her laugh. And then they start having a make-out session, and it says in like subtitles, gratuitous sex scene, and he just sort of turns around and goes, "Excellent."
Yeah,
and carries on.
That's I think that's a pick up from that sort of era of filmmaking where there was always some sort of gratuitous scene like that in a lot of films, and they were just pulling our legs about that. I think overall it was a fun film. I think I'd recommend it for sure. What would you give it out of 100?
Oh, I'd give it about 70 odd.
70 odd. 75?
75 then.
75. I'll give it 62 out of 100. And
what is it?
IMDb gives it 6.9. So, I know, 75 and 62 is about 67, 68. So, we're pretty close as usual. I come under, you go over. And I think we'd recommend this as a comedy to see.
Yes.
I kind of want to see the second one. Do you want to see the second one?
From what I've read, it's exactly the same thing. Just Christopher Walken.
Well, that's got to add several points, to be honest.
It's just exactly the same thing.
But apparently I was hearing there's a shtick in it where like Garth, gets Kim Basinger. And you know how Garth's really nerdy and uncool and stuff. Well, apparently he turns into like super cool and suave as soon as he's got Kim Basinger. He's like, hey, which I kind of want to see. I want to see how good that is. But I might catch the second one. I think we'd recommend it though.
You know that woman Garth's after? In the cantina. The full cast list is like Wayne Campbell, Garth Algar. It comes down to her. It's just Dream Woman.
It was Donna Rare, wasn't it?
Yeah, Donna Dixon.
Donna Dixon. What did I say, Donna? Donna. I think she was in Baywatch, but I could be wrong. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
So we'd recommend that to catch sometime, wouldn't we? If you haven't, we're probably like the last people to see this, though, to be honest. But there you go. Okay. Feedback. We've not had any feedback. We would like some. A review on iTunes would be really grateful to get, or you can go to our website www.thegoodthebadandtheodd.com, leave some feedback there, or you can email us on info@thegoodthebadandtheodd.com. In addition, like I've already mentioned, I've started posting written reviews about a lot of the stuff we talk about, especially the films, but also some of the games and stuff. So you can pick that up on a feed, a separate like news feed too. You can also pick it out from our Twitter, which is Good, Bad and Odd is our Twitter name. However, that's it for this week, and it's goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Bye.
Bye.